the black uniforms. Dubbed by Maggie Lee, out of China, the transfer from Cal. Good throw down by number 27, Harper Murray, 6'2" junior, out of Ann Arbor, Michigan, two-time returning All-American.
First play of this match, and UCLA gives Nebraska a free ball. It cannot go that way, or this is going to be a short night for the Bruins.
Head coach Danny Busboom-Kelly telling me this morning that Harper Murray has such an array of shots, but is so consistent, really does a wonderful job of moving the ball around, hitting for a fabulous percentage. On the overpass, number 15, Andy Jackson takes care of it, the 6'3" junior out of Brighton, Colorado.
Lainey Choboy putting some pressure on the Bruins with a tough serve, and this one gets over, and Andy Jackson, quick hands to attack that ball and throw it down.
Workable pass out to Leverett for the first time, working into the cross court, and successfully by Sheridan Leverett.
Sheridan Leverett for the Bruins has really worked on her deep corner shot, opening up the courts. She loves that 4-to-4, the sharp angle from the left that goes inside the 3-meter line, but that deep corner can be so effective for her.
We mentioned the transfer portal, really good sign for UCLA, getting Grong Kong, the transfer from Louisville out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, onto the floor. Heavily bandaged right knee. She's played sparingly throughout the course of the season. UCLA really needs her for the stretch run. Nice block by Leverett with some help from number 11, Mariana Singletary, the 6'4" redshirt junior out of Charleston, South Carolina.
Sheridan Leverett getting really disciplined, locating that ball, protecting the line, and then Mari Singletary getting out late to close, but Leverett's the one who gets that for UCLA.
20th meeting all time between the Cornhuskers and the UCLA Bruins. Nebraska has won 14 in this series, won 8 out of the last 9 and 5 in a row. Kong a little bit mistimed, but will take it. PK, as she is known, with a tap down. Very successful, experienced player at the highest levels for Louisville.
PK brings leadership to this UCLA team. She's used to going off 1 foot, not used to hitting that high ball off 2 feet, so getting more and more comfortable. And it's hard. She hasn't had a lot of time to work on that because of her knee.
Here's Kate Dovey, averaging just under 10 assists per contest. Really good insistent passing right now by Nebraska, but that ball hit over the top of the block and out of bounds by Virginia Adriano. And we're mentioning PK, and Danny Busboom-Kelly knows all about Grong Kong because she had 8 very successful years at Louisville before coming back home. Talked to her this morning. She grew up 30 minutes from Lincoln, Nebraska, Adams High School. Duffy again, misses that into the top of the tape. Between these two teams, particularly for UCLA, Nebraska's a big favorite. What is UCLA? What buttons do they have to push early?
One, it starts from the service line. They need to be really aggressive, and they cannot let up the pressure from the service line. And then they need to move the ball around the court using the edges of the big Nebraska block.
Medium pass to Leverett. Nice throw down. That's a really smart shot by number 9 in white, Sheridan Leverett. Alfie Reft in his 3rd season, 14 and 15 last year, associate head coach for the Toreros down in San Diego when they went to the national semifinals, assistant coach to our good friend Karch Kirai in Paris, Olympic silver medal. Here is Leverett out of Hampton, Georgia. First team All Big Ten last year, as well as an honorable mention All-American. Taylor Landfair coming on for the first time in 2022 for Minnesota. Taylor Landfair was the Big Ten Player of the Year. Struggled a little bit in terms of efficiency last year, only came in at 215. What a turnaround, hit 330 for the Cornhuskers. Perfect pass that time by Schumacher, but that's going to be a center line violation. Boy, you hate to see that. I didn't think there was any contact or any risk there at all, but it must have been called on the setter Duffy.
I think Kate Duffy trying to get her feet to that ball crossed over, but I love the feed and the kill by Mari Singletary. Bruins need to go to the middle, especially Mari Singletary, who can put up big numbers offensively for them.
Working on Lee, the front row attacker, and that ball is blocked. Landfair along with Jackson.
PK for UCLA needs to get her feet to the ball. She's gliding to that ball and hitting it on the way down, and that plays right into Nebraska's block. You see the timing, she's up and then on the way down, and you want to hit at the peak of your jump.
Harper Murray leads the Cornhuskers in assists, with aces on 25 on the year. Landfair very good at recycling the ball, getting another big swing, but an unforced error. Adriano has missed one out of bounds, and Taylor Landfair, number 12 in black, missed that one wide. A break for UCLA, tied at 6.
Credit the Bruins. They've been on point defensively, presenting a big block and forcing the Nebraska hitters to make tough decisions.
Singletary back to serve, a transfer from Texas. 6th in the conference in blocks per set. Nice pass by Murray. Her passing numbers are exceptional. Duffy was all over that tip. Lee looking for a piece of the block. We might have our first challenge. The ball was called out of bounds. You get 2 challenges to start the match. You can challenge touch, ball in or out, 3-meter line, foot fault violation, service line violation, a net fault, as well as a pancake, 4 contacts as well. Andy Jackson back to serve. 6'3" junior, first-team All-American last year, and even better this year. The all-time leader in terms of hitting efficiency in the history of Nebraska volleyball, which is really saying something.
UCLA right now needs to pull that pass off the net. Kate Duffy's back row, so Rebecca Alec able to attack that for Nebraska. Back row setter.
Lee stepping in, medium pass, outside the roll shot. Jackson all over that. Alec is blocked. Landfair is blocked. Good work defensively at the net. That phase of the game, and Kong just missed it out of bounds. How tough a transition for Kong. 4 years at a high level in the middle for Louisville, and now playing on the right side.
First of all, watch this block by UCLA. Bergen Riley slides under that pancake, and then Kong takes a big rip down the line for UCLA, just misses that long.
Pressure on Lee in reception. There's the 1-foot takeoff, but Taylor Landfair says no way.
Nebraska's serving the ball extremely tough, but I feel like UCLA is getting a nice pass. It's going forward, just too tight to the net. They need to give their setter, Kate Duffy, some space to run the offense. I also want to see UCLA start getting their middles more involved.
Good use of the timeout by Alfie Ref. 2 timeouts per set, along with 15 substitutions. The liberos moving in and out do not count against that subtotal. Kat Lutz, 5'4" junior out of Del Mar, California, 28 matches last year, on to serve 22 in white for UCLA. Working on Choboy. And Landfair at 6'5", using all of it to throw the ball down quickly.
One of the things that makes Taylor Landfair so good is her high point of contact. The ball gets a little past her, but she's so high, able to clear the block. Well-placed ball by Taylor Landfair. Her numbers have definitely improved, much more efficient. She's been really consistent on that left pin for Nebraska.
Good pass by Schumacher, dug by Riley. That ball's up. Transition chance, really good swing that time by Taylor Landfair. Outstanding defense on both sides.
How about Lainey Choboy in the backcourt for Nebraska? Love the way she throws her body, gets under this beautiful pancake, and then she digs the hard ball down the line. Lainey Choboy is such a huge asset for this Nebraska team.
On the slide again, and look at this. You talked about stifling defense, no question about it. Right now, Nebraska is dominating in the blocking phase.
UCLA needs to vary where they're setting that ball, so you shorten up Taylor Landfair's approach in terms of her swing block. She's getting in front of that and taking all ball, and the hitter has nowhere to go. The only thing the hitter can do is work off the outside hand.
Double sub coming on now for Alfie Ref. Zayna Myers, the transfer from Long Beach State, coming on along with Anastasia Ivkovic on the right side, and she will immediately get a swing. Another chance in trans. Adriano off the inside hand, and Nebraska rolling right now, doubling up on the Bruins.
Virginia Adriano at 6'5" on that opposite for Nebraska. Has such a nice range, but the ability to use the edges of the block in her favor.
That ball served out of bounds, continuing pressure applied by Nebraska. And the Nebraska's serving phase, they are 16th in terms of aces per set. They serve in a lot. That doesn't tell you the whole story. What do teams pass against Nebraska when the ball is in play? There is Maggie Lee. Had an outstanding year last year from Cal. She was in the top 4 in kills per set in the ACC. Perfect pass in system. Alec. Setter taken out of the play. Good set in transition. Leverett is dug by Choboy. Tough chance. That ball set too tight. Really, really smart shot that time by Leverett off the outside hand of the Nebraska block.
When we talked to Alfie Ruff, the head coach for UCLA this week, he talked about transition attempts and what we do with this ball. Sheridan Leverett, textbook use of Virginia Adriana's right hand away from the defense.
Attacking Choboy. Alfie Ruff said that they might, and Rebecca Alec off the edge of the block and down. 2.5 kills per set, hitting .427 on the season, and 3rd in the conference's blocks is Rebecca Alec.
Your defense, especially your front court defense, cannot relax against any of the Nebraska hitters, and then you've got a back row attacker as well that can hurt you.
Working on the left front attacker once again. That's been a theme early on for Nebraska, and there's Alec once again.
I love a transition set to the middle. Credit Rebecca Alec for the footwork. After she blocks, she gets back quickly, makes herself available to Bergen Riley. Really hard work to do that as a middle attacker.
Good reception by Leverett. Ivkovic, poor decision there. Should have played off with a lot of rain. And it's raining stuffs and kills right now for Nebraska.
It certainly is. Nebraska just setting up opportunities with the tough serves, getting UCLA out of trouble and then cleaning things up at the net.
Nebraska dominating in the serve and receive phase right now. If you look at Nebraska's numbers, I said what they were doing aces-wise. That doesn't tell the story, but in reception, they're at 53% good or perfect. Their opponents at 46%. And they've missed their share, but they do put on a lot of pressure and continue to lead this 19-10. When Nebraska gets into the red zone, which is 20 or above, they're a perfect 63-0 in sets so far. Remember, they have won 46 straight sets, 15 straight sweeps. And all but one of those coming in the Big Ten Conference. The other was against Arizona right before the start of conference play. Nice play by Lola Schumacher. Mentioned that she played last year for Wisconsin, all Big Ten freshman team, and leads the Big Ten right now at 4.3 digs per set and a very good receiver. Oh, nice play out of the middle. Mariana Singletary with a single one-on-one stuff.
Rebecca Alec has been having her way offensively for Nebraska out of the middle. This time, Mari Singletary fronts Rebecca Alec, gets her hands over the net quickly, takes it away from Nebraska.
Terea Sigler, the outstanding 6'3" freshman out of Arizona, two-time the Arizona Player of the Year, being targeted. Very nice reception. Really well done. Dug by Schumacher. Leverett going off speed. Nice step in by Sigler once again. Choboy on the hustle, but a better block. Both teams have been good in that phase.
Defense so important if you want to have a chance against Nebraska. Lola Schumacher keeps it alive, and then the block stuff by Duffy and Singletary of the Bruins.
Still a comfortable lead for Nebraska. Murray's been fairly quiet so far, just 1 for her first 8. Leverett going inside the block, right on the side. A very difficult schedule. They have played just about everybody. Beat Pitt, beat Stanford, beat Kentucky, beat Creighton, beat Louisville. And the Big Ten is no layup either. Schumacher. Murray, good high flat shot. You could hear the touch by 27 in black. Her second kill on 9 swings.
Harper Murray has all the tools because they have so many offensive weapons. She doesn't have the big numbers in terms of kills, but nice flat swings, and you see 68-0 when they get to 21st.
I sold Nebraska short. I had it at 63. I'll trust our crew at 68. Off speed, Schumacher can't get there. Lutz was also there. Very smart shot once again by Harper.
Here it starts with the dig. Look at Lainey Choboy coming all the way across the court, and then Harper Murray, we saw her go down the line high and then off speed to the middle, mixing it up.
Back row to Lee. I'm not sure that ball cleared, but Adriano, Harper Murray, and Andy Jackson were all there.
Nebraska on the defensive assignment, putting up a triple block on the back row attack for UCLA.
During the course of this run, Nebraska has not only swept 15 straight opponents, but the average score is 25-18 in all of those matches, and all but one of those in the Big Ten.
And the last 3 matches, Nebraska has hit over 400, and to hit as a team over 400 a match is really impressive.
They're on pace to set a new all-time record. Nebraska has never hit over 300 for a season. And they're way ahead of that now. They're #1 in the country, as we showed you right before first serve, at 348. And Texas is #2 at 308, so that's some real separation. 331 the current record, and then you see going back to 07 and 05, but on pace to set a new all-time record. Nebraska 2 points away. Leverett getting one-on-one. Choboy was there.
Duffy putting up a really nice ball to Sheridan Leverett, but I'd like to see her establish her middles. Mari Singletary's one-on-one with Andy Jackson, and she's been able to score big numbers for UCLA. You want to get your middles going early.
Singletary has yet to take a swing. Excellent point, Holly McPeak. Here's Leverett again after the side-out score, working on Murray. Oh, beautiful cut. Danny Busboom-Kelly said Harper Murray is super consistent and has lots and lots of variety in her attacking phase.
Harper Murray's elite in the way that she sees the court. First, she has to handle the pass, and the way she hand contacts the ball. Look at that spin going away from the defender. Really impressive.
Set point #1. Maggie Lee into the cross court. Choboy would like to have that one back. Just a final thought on Harper Murray. Takes a lot of very difficult swings in a tough league, and I gave you the non-conference schedule they played. She's hitting 305 on the season. That's a big number for number 27 in black. Set point #2. Here is Singletary for the Bruins, who come in with an 8-6 record, beat Northwestern in 5 most recently. That ball out of bounds and right about on their average, 25-18 during this 46-set streak. And now they take the opening set at Pauley Pavilion on the campus of UCLA. Take us to UCLA's side. What was the discussion with Coach Ref during the changeover?
1, we need to pass the ball. 2, we need to get our middles going. We can't just rely on our left sides only to score.
That's successfully off the top of the block. Good start from Leverett, #9 in white.
Alfie Ref, the head coach of UCLA, said, look, we need to use the edges of the block, score down the line, attack the outside hand. Leverett does so on the first swing of the second set.
Schumacher to start things off for the Bruins. They come in with a record of 14-10, currently 36, and there is check mark with a first kill.
Check mark is right. Ali Check, #3 in black for Nebraska. The transfer from Baylor. Look at her get on top of this ball. Sees a little seam, powers it through. Nice Nebraska kill on the right side.
Coach Busboom-Kelly in our conversation very early this morning mentioned that we might see Ali Check make a difference maker. I think that ball was out of bounds, but Check could be a difference maker come tournament time in December. Coach Busboom-Kelly said, we don't care about the names, we don't care about the numbers, we only care about hanging a banner this year at the end of the season.
And this Nebraska team is bought in. I love that statement.
Excellent pass. Singletary with the kill, and Holly McPeak demanding a lot more of that.
First kill for Mari Singletary in this match, and it comes in the second set. Mari Singletary for UCLA is a player who's put up 18 kills in one match this season. They need more of that. She's got the physicality and the arm, and when her offense goes, so does her defense.
Kate Duffy back on the floor now. She was replaced momentarily by Zana Meyer, previously the 2023 Big West Setter of the Year. Came to UCLA through the portal. There's check again. Schumacher just flies around wherever she's playing. Chance for UCLA, not a perfect touch, but they get a break as the Nebraska defense can't control that play out of the middle.
Lola Schumacher is so impressive in the backcourt. Check goes off the outside hand of Leverett. Look at Lola Schumacher use her left hand to bring it back. And then Mari Singletary, that big offensive window, good transition for the Bruins out of the middle.
When we spoke with Coach Reft a couple of days ago about this matchup, he told us, hey, look, Lola Schumacher right now is our MVP. Murray had been 3 for 3 after starting just 1 for 8. Important momentum chance for UCLA, but PK Kong missed that ball out of bounds, but a net violation. Net violation against Harper Murray, and she's saying, no, we might want to challenge this. Oh, yeah, she is wearing those sleeves, but that was a micro touch. That was a good call by the officials. So we will have no challenge. We have not had one yet. Nebraska won the opening. Oh, what a block. What a cover. Choboy, why are you even there? And the dig by Murray. Tremendous swing by Leverett.
Choboy, why are you even there? She's everywhere, don't you know? Look at this block stuff, straight down. Choboy in her position, picks it up, keeps it alive.
Good response by UCLA coming off that 5-set win. Narrowly in the 5th, 18-16 over Northwestern. Serve in front of Murray that time. Good work from the service line by the UCLA Bruins.
Love the midi serve. The bottom just dropped out in front of the serve receive of Nebraska. Watch this ball just drop.
Sigler taking a lot of court, as is Choboy. Murray the target down the line. Chance again for the Bruins. And missed a piece of the block. I love the attempt and a good high hard swing, Holly, but just missed it.
UCLA working hard to get Mari Singletary, number 11 in white, going. That one did not work in their favor, but they need to keep pushing, trying to score there. If they can score out of the middle, it will free up their pins a little more.
Olivia Mauk, defensive specialist, on to serve out of Bennington, Nebraska. Best passer on the Cornhuskers team at 60% good or perfect. Right back to the middle. Love that choice. Hitting high off hands. Smart play by Singletary not to try to go quickly on the overpass.
UCLA in transition, lifts the set, brings a little bit inside, allowing Leverett to go off Andy Jackson's block.
7-3 is the advantage for UCLA. Once again, Nebraska has dominated this series, the 20th meeting all time. Nebraska with 14 wins, 5 in a row and 8 out of the last 9. Murray will go back to serve. 25 aces on the year, 28 errors. Outstanding, outstanding. Is she the best outside hitter in the country?
Best all around, for sure. Harper Murray's something special, and she's surrounded by a talented group as well, and that helps.
Ron Kong continues to struggle. That heavily bandaged knee has been in the lineup and then out for a long, long time.
For UCLA, they need to be able to score on that right side spot. And if PK can't do it, they need to find somebody who can.
Ivkovic, probably will see her soon. Maggie Lee very cerebral shot down the line. And Alfie Ref told us we have got to be able to score from area 4 in the left front down the line against Nebraska's defense.
Maggie Lee, nice cross-body swing, finding that outside hand, and that was the focus all week long for the UCLA Bruins.
Murray's taken 16 swings. Andy Jackson only 3. Good read by Duffy. Chance in transition. Through the block and down by Lee.
UCLA doing a nice job covering so they get that extra opportunity after PK was blocked, and then going back to the left side, Maggie Lee finding a seam in that Nebraska block.
Tough serve. Pretty, careful, Jackson slipped. Quickly to the outside and another kill. Excellent delivery by UCLA's Duffy.
Duffy recognizing that Nebraska late getting out to that left pin, shoots it out, and Andy Jackson's late 1-on-1.
Singletary will continue to serve. Record-setting crowd on hand, the biggest crowd ever to watch volleyball in Pauley Pavilion outside of an NCAA championship match. The previous record was 7,200 set in 2022. UCLA against USC. They were expecting upwards of 10,000. We're waiting to get the numbers. It's wonderful to see. On a treacherously rainy day in Southern California. You gotta look out, storm watch. UCLA much better in reception and blocked again. That matchup really favors Nebraska, who saw it in the opening set, Landfair against PK.
I'd love to see UCLA run PK on that slide, but set the middle. You got Taylor Landfair going, and then just 1-on-1 in the middle.
Landfair already with 4 blocks. Ace serve. Andy Jackson, 15 in black.
Andy Jackson has really stepped up her game from the service line, and I love when middle blockers do this. They have high contact point, good arms. Why not? Nice flat with pace.
Jackson will go back to serve once again. Good step in by Maggie Lee. And that ball blocked. That is being dominated, the right side for UCLA's offense being dominated by Taylor Landfair.
I don't know why UCLA continues to go after this matchup. And there's 2 blockers there for Nebraska. Feed Brooklyn Briscoe. Give her a chance to score in the middle.
Could not agree more, Holly. Maggie Lee got a good hard right hand. Got off to a slow start, but now number 8. 3 of her last 4 here in the second set as Kat Lutz comes back on.
Alfie Ref told us Maggie Lee is trending up. She struggled at the beginning of the season to find her confidence, but now you see the quick swing down the line, finding open court.
Was 3rd in the ACC last year in total kills and 4th in kills per set. Good pass by Murray, out of the back row. That is just part of her repertoire, absolutely detonating on the back row combination.
Nebraska can hurt you in the front row, but this quick, big attack to Harper Murray is so successful. 1-on-1, and the pace of that ball for Murray is tough to stop.
Bergen Riley back to serve. UCLA had a comfortable lead, but nothing is comfortable against this juggernaut, now leading 12-10. They did force a timeout earlier on when UCLA went on a 9-3 run against the country's #1 team. Rebecca Alec up front, along with Ali Czech, who started this second set, the transfer from Baylor for Virginia Adriano. That is such a good set by Bergen Riley.
I love the way Bergen Riley gets her feet to that ball and then makes a nice decision high and fast enough to Taylor Landfair to attack that corner.
Leverett off to a pretty good start, going off speed. Joe Boy having to step in. Beautiful transition set, excellent location. And blocked by Czech, working on Leverett.
Ali Czech, very quick hands over the net at 6'3". She's a big defensive stop as well. We talk about the big left arm, and she's heavy, but look at her hands over the neck quickly. Shuts down that line attempt by Leverett.
Danny Busboom-Kelly telling me this morning, said, look, we do a very, very good job of deflecting and soft blocking a lot of balls. I want us to get a little nastier. I want us stuffing balls. And they're certainly doing that so far on the evening, now in the middle stages of the second set.
Here's a broken play. Look at Rebecca Alec just patrolling the net. That's a weird set overplay, and she just attacks it.
Nebraska coming back to take the lead by 1. Version of the back row attack, and that ball will get to the floor. Maggie Lee having a very nice second set offensively.
We haven't seen a lot of back row attack from the Bruins, but this looks like a C ball, a little bit inside to the right back player. Maggie Lee finds that corner for the Bruins.
Back row divided into A, B, C, and D. The D out of the right back, and you can figure out the rest. Here's Schumacher, tied at 13. Nebraska won the opening set, 25-17. Alec down in front of Lutz.
Rebecca Alec has worked so hard on her offensive routes and making herself available. Look at her get her shoulder turned, ready and available for Bergen Riley to feed her that ball.
10 of 14, no errors in the recent win on Saturday against Minnesota. Nebraska hit .434.
Mari Singletary, another attempt on that slide, working off the outside hand of Harper Murray. I would love to see more balls going to Mari Singletary. She can also run it inside and shorten that swing blocker's route.
No swings in the opening set. She did have one, but that was nullified by a center line violation. 7 swings, good sign for Singletary and UCLA here in the second. Overpass, and Singletary would take care of that one. Number 11 in white, the transfer from Texas.
It starts with a tough serve. Kate Duffy, plenty of pace on that ball. Gets away from Harper Murray's platform. And then Mari Singletary with the overpass kill.
Duffy does have 23 aces on the year, so she can be dangerous in this phase. The Bruins again, working on Murray, going to be out of system. Good reaction by Singletary to keep the ball alive. That was a tough play. Andy Jackson.
Bergen Riley set the first ball of that rally from, I don't know, 3 meters behind the 3-meter line, and then finds Andy Jackson high and fast enough from behind that 3-meter line as well. Her area that she can push the offense is just growing and growing.
And Duffy right back at you. Singletary now 8 swings. Listening to you, Holly McPeak. Got to get the ball to number 11 and her counterpart as well, Brooklyn Briscoe.
You have to use your middles to score, especially when you're not scoring from the right side of the court. And that's advantage Mari Singletary one-on-one out of the middle of the court.
Very easy serve. That gobbled up by Choboy. Connection not there out of the middle. Really good transition set and an even better swing. Maggie Lee is in a really good rhythm.
Maggie Lee trending up, like I said earlier, and really using the entire court. We've seen her go off the outside hand this time, that deep corner, and nobody plays defense back there.
Nebraska has not lost a set since September 16th. That was at 5-setter to Creighton. Wow, that ball was really close. That's a break for Nebraska. On the season, Nebraska, in terms of sets won, 72 against only 6 sets lost. Lost 2 sets to Kentucky, 2 sets to Creighton, and 1 to Utah. And have been perfect over the last 15 matches. Lee again, everything going number 8's way.
Bruins taking care of the pass, and Kate Duffy keeping that low and in system so Maggie Lee has time to work through the seam of the block.
Carly Hendrickson, 6'2" senior out of Cincinnati, the transfer from Florida, on to serve for the Bruins, leading by 2. Excellent pass by Murray. There's the slide off the block and out of bounds. just so quick off the floor and so high into the hands.
Bruins were there with a double block, just late with the hands, pressing back into the court. And because Andy Jackson's got that quick arm, she makes you pay quickly.
Jackson now with 3 kills on 6 swings. Overpass. And Rebecca Alec will take care of the rest. Andy Jackson, as you pointed out, middles, long, serve down into the court, very effective.
Andy Jackson putting plenty of pace on this ball, and you can see the float and movement on that ball because of the way she attacked it.
Good cover by Codling. And Lee again trying to find a touch and missed it that time, looking for the hands of Riley. Yeah, Alfie Rep was putting up really good numbers for Cal last year. ACC is really a good conference, and they're showing that again this year, but really struggled in the beginning of the season to find her way. Coming on just in time for the Bruins to make a push towards the playoffs. They've got work to do. They're currently 36th in the RPI. Lee again, good tempo, off the edge, and Jackson won't get there. Very smart attacking.
Bruins were really lucky to get another shot because the first ball they gave Nebraska a free ball, dug it, and then you see Maggie Lee working off Bergen Riley. That was the focus all week long for the Bruins, and it's paying off right now, tying things up.
Lutz, defensive specialist, on to serve for the Bruins. Perfect pass. On the slide. Outstanding execution, and look where we are. We're in the red zone. Had won 68 in a row when Nebraska got to the red zone first, 68 sets in a row.
We talk about Andy Jackson a lot in the middle, but Rebecca Alec is offensive. We see her both sides of the ball really being dynamic for Nebraska.
Good pass, rhythm to the offense, block touch by Alec. Landfair slam dinking that ball inside the Bruin block.
If you're blocking, you can't be high. You have to be over and let the team dig around you, but your hands have to be pressed over, and the Bruins were late to press.
Perfect example why Landfair's efficiency is so much higher this season than last. Making some good decisions. Maggie Lee got a touch, nice pokey in the backcourt by Murray. Looking for hands again. Yeah, we're gonna have, ball was called out of bounds. We're gonna have a touch here for sure. That ball changed direction and trajectory.
That was the play before. UCLA Bruins late on the block, yep. Just too high.
Not gonna have a challenge. Maggie Lee really wanted a challenge there, and now it's 22-19. And now it's 23-19.
That would have been a perfect opportunity for the Bruins to challenge and slow things down. Maggie Lee was sure there was a touch, but that moment's gone now.
4-0 run by Nebraska. We were tied at 19. 7-1 is the run for Bergen Riley and the Cornhuskers overall. Maggie Lee on the left. Out of the middle is Brooklyn Briscoe, and then you do have Sheridan. You do have Sheridan Leverett available out of the back row attacking. Oh, that's a touch. There was clearly a touch on that play. That is a big no call to go after the challenge. Harper Murray, fantastic dig, spectacular dig by Lutz.
Lutz, a fire plug in the back row for the Bruins. UCLA number 22 comes in, makes big plays, tough serve, and that was a big one to lead to this transition point.
23-20. The Bruins are only the third team in the months of October or November to get into the red zone along with Nebraska. Here is Lee. Must have for UCLA, out to Leverett. And she's got it. Championship. Easy serve. That didn't have enough on it. And you get a side out that that's like ducks in a pond.
After a timeout, you cannot ease up, especially against Nebraska. You want to attack the seams with your serve, and it needs pace. It has to make the passer move. Set
point number 1 for the Cornhuskers, looking to take a 2-0 advantage. Here is Landfair. Leverett off of check and out of bounds. Sheridan Leverett has certainly done her part and more.
The Bruins have been solid scoring on the left side, using that whole court, working the outside hands of the block. That was the goal today. More offense out of the middle, and they need to try and score something from the right.
Set point once again for the Cornhuskers. Sigler stepping in. Good block touch. Showboy is there, and Sigler, I don't know if she found a wet spot in the back court, but just couldn't get the wheels turning. And UCLA hanging in, trailing now by only 1.
Leverett throws this to the middle of the court. Showboy on the ground, touches it, but Sigler was kind of going for that same ball in a little hesitation. Cannot run that ball down.
It's Rhea Sigler. Worse for wear right now. She's getting some attention to her right knee so far from her teammates, the medical staff for Nebraska. Thinking about coming out and taking a look, but she really went down hard, testing that right leg. 2-time Gatorade Player of the Year out of Scottsdale, Arizona. Part of the present and future for the Cornhuskers.
Rhea Sigler trying to get up, not sure.
Third set point for Nebraska. Got to go to Murray here, don't you? Game's not brain surgery. You got the best outside hitter in the country. 8-6 in conference, 14-10. 5 more matches after tonight for the Bruins. They're currently 36th in the RPI. Nebraska has yet to lose a set in Big Ten play. Sigler, nice pass to open things up. Dug by Lutz, a chance for UCLA to get, not yet. Rebecca Alec, we talked about playing both phases, offensively and defensively. Tremendous block by number 5 in black.
Alfie Ref told us we do not want to get in an angle battle with Nebraska, and you see the left hand of Rebecca Alec take that angle swing away from Leverett.
Nicely done out of the backcourt, dug by Riley. Free ball to Nebraska. Andy Jackson. Schumacher was there, but just too quick, too much heat.
You do not want to give this Nebraska team any free balls. Even though the dig wasn't amazing, can we get it to one of our hitters to take a swing? Because a free ball to Andy Jackson in the Nebraska Cornhuskers does not work.
That's 95% in the favor of the Cornhuskers, an easy free ball. Lee has been good. The receivers for UCLA have been pretty rock solid. Murray chopping line, dug again by Lee out of the middle back. Check. The big lefty slicing and dicing inside the block of the Bruins.
What an asset Ali Check is to this Nebraska team. Watch her work for her feet to get outside. She sees the block, really nicely formed block, but she has the range as a lefty to go inside the block with some power.
Hitting .429 on the season. She's been playing most of the time behind Adriano, the freshman out of Italy, at the opposite position. Singletary, nice play by 11 in white.
Mari Singletary has a big offensive window. That set was a little bit off the net, but the reach of Singletary able to get on top of that ball for the kill.
Singletary now 6 of 10, hitting .500. Look at that. UCLA 300, 304 between Leverett and Maggie Lee, and now at .500 is Singletary, and they're still trailing 2-0. Marino to Jackson, got it. Using the entire court.
The consistency of Bergen Riley in her window and her location as a setter, it's so fun to watch. It's like watching Tom Brady go to work, just feeding her hitters in perfect positions.
A serve, beautifully done. Olivia Mount, 5'6" sophomore out of Nebraska, 36 matches last year. Lex 111 sets in a row. Andy Jackson. Look, the Olympics are going to be in Los Angeles, and the time is going to be here before you know it. Does Jackson have a chance to make that squad for Eric Sullivan and represent the United States?
Yes. I think Andy Jackson deserves an opportunity in the USA Gym to earn that spot.
A lot of competition. Dana Retke, former player of the year in the Big Ten Conference. Chiaka Abagu, Haley Washington. Abagu and Washington, both gold medalists from Tokyo. And Molly McCage, formerly of University of Texas, really coming on as well. It shouldn't be easy to make an Olympic team. You played in 3 of them.
Never easy.
I only snuck in on one. I snuck in there. I had good teammates. After a relatively slow start by Nebraska standards, and I'll give you the numbers, they're now hitting .343 on the evening against UCLA. First set was a little bit of an offensive struggle, but they have certainly found a way. So many weapons and the best setter in the country. What a block by Riley, number 2 in black.
Bergen Riley is like a silent assassin. She just dissects you and picks you apart. I mean, and execute it's such a high level. Look at her get her feet to this ball, wait, touch it second, and win the joust for the big Nebraska point.
Blocking has been exceptional so far for Nebraska, now with 8. Taylor Landfair really set the tone early on, working against DeBron Kong, that ball out of bounds. Holly, just to finish the point on Nebraska's offense, good job by UCLA from the service line, block, and defense. Held Nebraska to 250, well below their season average in the first set. Then they come back and hit 387, and they're hitting 556 now in the third. Tough serve, right on the end line. Excellent serve, another middle blocker doing good work from the service line.
I absolutely love it. Mari Singletary, big arm, high contact point. You see that ball, really nice movement. That's a float serve with pace, and it catches the Nebraska team by surprise.
Another good one with movement. Nebraska in some difficulty. That is such a fantastic swing. I was a little blocked out. Was that Murray?
Harper Murray out of the backcourt. And she finds a way. Really tough serve. Gets her feet under her, and then the cross body to that corner. Just enough pace to beat the UCLA defender.
Steph Curry kind of range. That was from double the 3-meter line. Perfect pass. And Maggie Lee. That's what good offense looks like. Lee has been exceptional.
And well done by Kate Duffy, the setter for UCLA. Getting up, jump sets this ball, and the block for Nebraska jumps early, and that gives Maggie Lee the advantage.
Kat Lutz. Holly, you had an interesting story about her background.
I did. Kat Lutz, number 22 for UCLA, was adopted from Russia, and November is National Adoption Awareness Month, so we're celebrating that, and she's pretty special for the Bruins, playing a big part of this volleyball team.
Conlon with the excellent dig, and there's the play that Alfie Ref was talking about. Don't mess with that cross-court stuff. That way, successfully off the edge.
And those kind of opportunities made available or made possible by the defense in the backcourt. Maggie Lee, sensational use of the block.
Nebraska won the opening set 25-17, pushed in the second, but held on to win it 25-23. Harper Murray put away the final ball. Alec. Really good swing. Tough chance for Lee. Ball coming straight over her head.
Zaina Meyer told us in that little soundbite earlier, look, Maggie Lee's tough to read, and this is just an up and down set. Maggie Lee gets her feet to the ball and then finds Harper Murray in the backcourt.
13 kills now for Lee on 24 swings, hitting 375. Just been given the attendance record, and it has absolutely demolished the previous mark. It's a little bit unfortunate. Good hustle by the Bruins. The previous mark was 7,200. That was between UCLA and USC in the 2022 season. The attendance tonight, and a lot of them Nebraska fans, but wonderful to see it. Volleyball being supported here in Southern California. 10,498. Nobody has a following in the sport of volleyball, let alone many others at all, do this Nebraska Cornhusker team. Amazing.
This Nebraska team, they're a bunch of rock stars. Yep. I mean, they come into town, hundreds of people wait at the bus for their autograph, for the picture. And I mean, Poly Pavilion is a blue-seated arena, and I see a lot of red here.
There is
mostly red.
It's about 50%. We've been busy. I haven't actually counted. Danny Buston-Kelly talked to me. I mean, she's a native Nebraskan. She won a national championship at Nebraska, and she talks about how this team represents the state of Nebraska, not just the university, and how the entire state of Nebraska is so behind this group. Joe Boy stepping in. That's pretty good location. Leverett, excellent rhythm. Kate Duffy delivering a beautiful ball.
UCLA doing a better job from the service line, putting some pressure on Nebraska. That time they went after Taylor Landfair in serve receive, and she just takes a sliver of the court. So good accuracy down the line on the serve.
Alec off speed. Lee doing good work at the defensive end. That's a good, smart throw down. It's the best I've seen Leverett play all season long.
UCLA creating point-scoring opportunities with the serve and the defense. Maggie Lee scoops under that ball, and then Leverett, fast throw down. Not easy to beat Choboy on any play.
Good work by the Bruins to tie this third set. Must win this set due to the Bruins to stay alive. On the overpass, tapped down. Got a score that time. That's Brooklyn Briscoe wearing number 4 in white.
How about Maggie Lee from the service line taking the Bruins on a scoring run?
To that point, Holly, 4-0 run for Lee and the Bruins. Remember, it was Nebraska that got out to the 5-1 lead to start this third set. Lee again, and Choboy played that one. Too close to let it go. Off speed. Lola Schumacher was there. Smart shot that time by Rebecca Alec.
Rebecca Alec gets dug the first time, and then Choboy resets the play. Alec again up in the air, ready to attack. Finds a little shot right over the block open.
Alec, homegrown talent from Lincoln, Nebraska. 5th all-time in total blocks now with 505. Has had an absolutely wonderful career. Sometimes below the headlines, if you will, when you talk about Andy Jackson and Harper Murray, but her numbers are phenomenal.
Taylor Landfair turning up the pressure from the back line. So much pace on that serve, going right at Maggie Lee cross court.
To Lee again, and that one just floated, just drifted out of bounds, and a break for the Bruins. Must-win situation for the Bruins, who again, 36th in the RPI, 8-6 in conference, 14-10, and a reminder that UCLA, winners of 4 national championships, has been out of the NCAA tournament the last 3 seasons. Jack, beautiful reach by Singletary.
Mari Singletary stays in the middle and takes that angle swing away from Alechek. This is a little back 2 set, trying to isolate Alechek in the middle of the court, but Mari Singletary, fantastic eye work and hand work to take that away.
7 kills, hitting .545 with 4 blocks for a number 11 for UCLA. Good block touch there. Hittable ball, Leverett. Check again. Block deflection, big chance for UCLA. Nebraska in transition and missed it out of bounds. Nebraska worked hard to get ahead in that point, made some smart plays, but Murray just with the errant swing into the cross.
Both sides of the net played really nice defense. The hand contact just got away from Harper Murray, wasn't able to get that top spin to keep it in the court.
UCLA now with 38 digs to 27 for Nebraska. Blocking again, Mariana Singletary is patrolling Pauley Pavilion.
They found their consistency and their confidence, and they're playing extremely well, and they've got talent around those young players.
And a sellout crowd expected to host or to welcome the Cornhuskers at the Galen Center. Be the first sellout ever at the Galen Center.
Out of system play, Alechek just lifts it, pushes Harper Murray up to the net, and she does the rest of the work. Those are the out of system plays you want instead of a free ball.
Good in reception again. Leverett, Showboy all over that. Duffy on the run. Sigler with a sprawl. Bruins working so hard. Lutz is there trying to dig it out, as is Singletary, but better by Nebraska.
Really nice effort defensively. Lutz digging that ball off the block, read it well. Fastball out to Harper Murray, who works off the hand of Mari Singletary, who came out to block by herself.
Nebraska controlled the first set, played pretty clean. Bruins were maybe a little overmatched, 25-17, but then UCLA gave Nebraska everything they wanted, 25-23 in the second, and then that has continued here in the third with Nebraska trailing UCLA 15-14. Nebraska has not lost a set since September 16th against Creighton, and are absolutely clean in the Big Ten Conference. That's beautiful play. Duffy to Singletary.
Duffy feeds Singletary wide and high and allows Mari Singletary to use her physicality to go up, and she can crush it down or hit it flat. Look at the big window because she's so high and goes flat off the hands of Harper Murray.
Duffy's really improved throughout the course of this season as she's been the lead setter. Murray, good rhythm to that. And PK got lost defensively.
You have to recognize that Harper Murray's out on this pin, especially that short string set to Murray. That cannot surprise you.
PK, the former middle blocker at Louisville, got sucked into playing some defense against Andy Jackson. Good response once again. Singletary has been superb.
Alfie ref told us, look, we want to score mostly out of the left side and the middle, and we're starting to see Mari Singletary be a bigger offensive threat.
Medium pass. Murray, good recycle. Choboy all over that. Timing not there, and an awkward, unforced error by Nebraska. Timeout here for Nebraska. Yep, Danny Busboom-Kelly. Nebraska's been forced to call. They're on the bubble, 36 in the RPI. But if they play at this level for the rest of their schedule, they'll be in for the tournament for the first time in 4 years. Choboy, very good pass. Jackson having to throw that down. Big opportunity here for UCLA. Lee, who's been so good. Right on target by Choboy. Oh, Andy Jackson, what a dig by Choboy.
Because Bergen Riley runs the offense so fast in transition, Mari Singletary in the middle of the court is so late, and Andy Jackson sees that and crushes it back cross court.
That was a maybe set saving and maybe streak saving outstanding point by Jackson, Bergen Riley, and of course Choboy at the defensive end. Land fair. And again. And blocked by Singletary. Mari Singletary is having a night.
PK doing a much better job on the right side, setting up the block. Bergen Riley goes back to back, and then Mari Singletary, left hand, shuts down the angle for the UCLA point.
The advantage is 3. Carly Hendrickson on to serve. Tough serve. Chance for the Bruins. Lee trying to go off hands. Coddling with the cover. Lee again using the block. Red zone for UCLA. Tough serve. An ace.
Wow. Bruins turning it up. Love that Carly Hendrickson in there. Aggressive flat ace down that line. Assistant coach Nick Vogel for the Bruins talking to his blockers.
Another very tough serve. Pretty well handled by Mount given the quality of serve. Landfair. Smart tip. Duffy all over that. Lee got a piece of the block. Magnificent night for Lee.
The service pressure right now from the Bruins, creating these opportunities. Tip here, Kate Duffy lays it down on the line, and then Maggie Lee slicing and dicing for the Bruins.
Big lead for the Bruins. Hendrickson has been really good at the service line. Out to Landfair again. Okay, good recycle. And a net violation will bail out the Bruins. And look at this, 23-16. Speaking of 16 again, it was September 16th in Omaha. That was the last time this Nebraska team dropped a set. That was to Creighton.
This appeared to be a trap set, but looked like Nebraska got a piece of the block, and that's a break for the Bruins.
Interesting substitution. Campbell Flynn, the #1 setting recruit last year out of Oakland, Michigan, on now replacing Bergen Riley. And immediately, Danny Busboom-Kelly called Riley over and said, let's talk about some things. Much needed side-out score by Nebraska.
One of the things that I love and respect about Danny Busboom-Kelly as a head coach, she's not afraid to make changes. Campbell Flynn steps in, feeds Andy Jackson, and they're able to get out of that situation.
Jalen Reyes is in charge of the defense. He's the one always patrolling the sideline. Coach Busboom-Kelly in charge of the offense. Good pass by Lee. Briscoe. Dug by Murray. Must have it. Your Landfair, and you got it.
What a dig by Harper Murray in the backcourt, and then Taylor Landfair turning that high down the line off PK. Really nice transition kill for Nebraska.
Lee, another wonderful swing through the seam and down. All season long, there has not been one set where Nebraska hasn't gotten to the 20-point threshold. UCLA might be holding them under that.
Maggie Lee working through that seam, and I'll tell you, for Nebraska, I think it's fantastic. They need to be pushed. They need to have these types of opportunities to respond in the actual match and not in practice.
Lutz, set point #1. Alec. Good set to Landfair. Maybe that was intended for Murray. UCLA to get on the board. Landfair dug by Schumacher. Maggie Lee for the win. Quality swing. Just missed it out of bounds. Set point saved by Nebraska. Campbell Flynn, Gatorade National Player of the Year, #4 overall recruit. What a swing! Lee is the one, and the streak of sets won. The first since September 23. And then the Bruins coming back and taking the third set, 25-19. Back with Holly McPeak, Paul Sunderland. Thanks for staying with us. Blocked right away. That's what started this match, and it was Taylor Landfair, this time Harper Murray.
Brooklyn Briscoe, the attacker for UCLA, needs to stay behind that ball. Her feet were in front of it, and that makes it hard to see and beat the block.
Very nice set. Leverett, Kate Duffy, the young setter, only a sophomore from Ventura, about 50 miles north of Pauley Pavilion. An excellent delivery.
And Sheridan Leverett, really impressive with that cross-court swing. She finds a way to sneak it inside the block. First team are the UCLA Bruins to hold Nebraska under 20 all season long. Well, Nebraska's only lost now 6 sets, make it 7 the entire season. Perfect pass, and why not set your middle attacker, Rebecca Alec. She leads this Nebraska team in kills. She passes it and then takes care of business. Alec now with 10 kills, hitting .421. Taylor Landfair and Harper Murray will give you their numbers combined. They have struggled with the block defense of UCLA a bit. Murray. Struggle no more. Outstanding swing. That's 11 kills, 38 swings to get there. Nebraska in transition. Lainey Choboy just puts it up high, lets Harper Murray get her feet there and carve it inside the block for the kill. Choboy now with 9 kills. Diggs. One-on-one with the timing not there with Leverett trying to go fast. Unforced error into the antenna for the Bruins. Duffy had the look she wanted. She isolated Leverett one-on-one with Adriana, but the timing and rhythm, they're off with her attacker. Choboy right side to Adriano. Murray again. Choboy on target. Singletary again. Her matchup with Andy Jackson has been something to watch. Block touch, but Singletary once again in a near collision in the back quarter. There might have been one. Lainey Choboy back there with Terea Sigler. Watch this transition swing by Leverett to the corner. You got Lainey Choboy in front and Terea Sigler behind, but worried about a collision, and it looked like both players went down hard. Leverett continues a really good night. 16 kills, 36 swings, couple of digs, couple of blocks as well. That ball will drift just out of bounds. Duffy going for the tough serve. Nebraska 24-0, a perfect 14-0, obviously, in Big Ten play so far. Holly, you've been covering all the top teams around the country. Nebraska, the big favorite going into the tournament. They'll be the #1 overall seed, barring some huge surprise. Who else can play with Nebraska to compete for this year's national championship? There's a lot of good teams, and I think there's some, wow, Harper Murray. I'll finish that thought after I talk about this kill from Harper Murray. She was over there to triple block, comes inside. Mari Singletary's there, and she's from inside the court, able to hit that ball sharp with power. Nice response by Singletary again. The last 2 years, Nebraska a couple of years ago, Texas swept them for the national championship, and that was quick. And then last year, losing to Penn State after being up 2-0 and 15-9 in the third, and Jess Merzick and the Nittany Lions came back, won that semifinal, and then won the national championship. This Nebraska team is a team that I thought could have won the last 2 years. They have the talent, and I think they're deeper this year, and I think they've improved in a lot of different areas to prepare for that moment so it doesn't happen again in the NCAA tournament. Oh, Singletary again. The transfer from Texas. Mari Singletary just owning the middle of the court, shaping the ball with our hands, takes it away from Terea Sigler.
I thought Nebraska was going to play Pitt last year for the national championship.
I did as well.
And we were both wrong.
Yes, we were. That's why they play the games.
Jackson trying to throw down, and PK limited with some injuries there to her lower leg, just not able to get on that play. But put your feet to the fire. Who's going to play in this year's national championship? You've seen them all.
I know. It's just too hard to say. You know, Stanford's playing Pitt tonight. I want to see who's going to win that game. I think Stanford's making a big push late. I've been impressed with Kentucky for sure. I think Nebraska is the team to beat. Texas has a ton of talent.
Dropped 2 matches in a row.
Yes.
Lost at Texas A&M, lost at home to Kentucky.
Louisville's super feisty. SMU's good. I mean, there's a lot of good teams in the mix. It's going to be really interesting to see how teams finish conference. And
are in. Penn State's probably in, but look what UCLA have, both Michigan and Michigan State, to deal with down the stretch.
Usually numbers in the 30s in terms of RPI put you in a good position to qualify for the tournament.
Purdue's been a wonderful story. Dave Shondell, my candidate. Jamie Morrison at Texas A&M, Dan Fisher at Pitt. Pitt lost a ton off last year's team, including Torrey Stafford, who left to go to Texas. Those are my 3 favorites for Coach of the Year. Maggie Lee again.
Maggie Lee continues to frustrate the Nebraska defense. Hard to read where she's going. She gets on the ball quickly. She's got 18 kills for the Bruins so far.
Hitting .371 against the nation's best defense. Good read by Briscoe. UCLA doesn't get a swing out of it. You see the communication between Jackson and Riley?
Yes, and setters and middle attackers, especially in transition, need to do that. But for the Bruins, they made a good block touch and didn't get a swing out of it. You can't give Nebraska free balls.
Physiologists talk a lot about fast twitch. Well, there's fast twitch, and then there's Andy Jackson. Lee again, finding seams. Good matchup for her against Riley.
Nebraska could do a better job against Maggie Lee, shooting their hands over the net a little bit quicker. Bergen Riley's late to press her hands, and that ball's sneaking through the seam.
Nebraska on top 2-1 and 11-6. The streak of 48 set wins in a row has come to an end in front of a record-setting crowd at Pauley Pavilion. Good play. Briscoe again doesn't get many opportunities, but taking full advantage.
Bruins doing a nice job defensively on the slide attack. I think Bergen Riley can set those slides tighter to the net. They appear to be coming off the net, and that's hard for middle attacker to get on top of those balls that are coming off.
Excellent pass. Murray's numbers are so good. Good sprawl by Lutz. And Maggie Lee, a rare miss. Trying to follow her coach's instructions and pound the line. Bergen Riley, 2-time All-American and back-to-back as a freshman and sophomore. Never happened before as the Big Ten Setter of the Year. Joe Boy stepping in. Landfair going high flat. Good slow down by the block. And again, UCLA does not get a quality swing. Touch out of the middle by Briscoe. Chance for Lee. Good hands, Holly.
Thank you. Maggie Lee for the Bruins continues to find ways to score, and it's not always the same swing. And I'll tell you, she's given Nebraska fits right now.
A season high 20 kills to go along with 9 digs for number 8, Lee. The transfer from Cal, originally from Beijing, China. Working on Murray and dials up the ace. Service winner for Lee. Remember, she went on a very good serving run earlier in this match as well. It's a good rotation scoring-wise for UCLA.
Bruins feeling it confidence-wise, and Maggie Lee continues to affect this match in all facets of the game, including her serve.
5 aces now for the Bruins, 4 for Nebraska. Schumacher is there, and the ball just got stuck. It goes to some funny places.
I think it got stuck on Brooklyn Briscoe's nose.
Well, we're about
and
to.
It's hard to play it up from there. Look at Lola Schumacher.
Pretty good balancing act. Landfair, the former Big Ten Player of the Year, well, at Minnesota, that was in 2022. Only 5 of 20 so far on the night. Net violation will nullify another outstanding dig by Lainey Choboy.
Volleyball is such a game of momentum, and right now the Bruins are feeling it. They're making plays, and we're seeing some errors by Nebraska. Looks like Adriano gets it with her left forearm on the way down for Nebraska.
Schumacher, 15 digs so far on the night, and this is that one. Again, the reminder about UCLA's upcoming schedule: Rutgers tomorrow, then Illinois, at Washington, and then at Michigan, Michigan State. They'll probably have to win 4 of those to get into the, to be sure, to be very comfortable on Selection Sunday. Boy trying to go flat, came up a little bit short. UCLA hanging around against Nebraska, trailing 14-11, 2 sets to 1. Adriano back on, the freshman out of Italy, played in Series A in Bergamo in Italy. Murray, another outstanding pass. Harper Murray. Adriano set that up with a first opening swing.
And Maggie Lee playing middle back for the Bruins in a fantastic spot to dig this ball. Watch her middle back gets under it, just carries over, and then Harper Murray, easy open net kill for her in Nebraska.
Lee now with a double-double. We talked about the 20 kills being a season high, but now 10 digs as well. Good in reception, good at the service line. Best night so far for Maggie Lee as a Bruin. Lee is a junior, so she would be back next year. Perfect pass. Andy Jackson. Mount made it happen. Good first contact.
Olivia Mauck is special, number 10 defensive specialist in the backcourt for Nebraska. She comes up with that dig, and then the quick transition ball to Andy Jackson in the middle.
Lovely coming out to Leverett. Short serve again. Schumacher just got a hand on it. Going to be saved by Singletary. Very crafty serve that time by Olivia Mauck, and Alfie Ref in his 3rd year on the Bruins sideline wants to call.
For the best team in the country, and then Harper Murray, who's just the backbone to this Nebraska team. She does it all.
Digs, blocks, serves, and passes, as you saw that number, at a very, very solid clip. Leverett. A little too sharp and missed that one, did number 9 in white, who, like Maggie Lee, her bookend at the outside for the Bruins has been exceptional.
Lola Schumacher really doing a nice job cleaning up the middle. Chance for the Bruins to score, and Leverett cuts it too sharp.
Tight pass, smart throw down. Mariana Singletary again, her numbers. Remember, she was bageled in the opening set. She had 1 kill, but that was nullified by a violation. She's now 11 of 20, hitting .370.
Kate Duffy, the setter for UCLA, finding Murray Singletary when everything's not perfect, and that's really important when you've got a middle player with a big offensive window.
Time for the Bruins, but not much. Wide slide, Andy Jackson over the top. Harper Murray cleaning it up.
Somebody woke up the giant. Good pass here by Choboy, and then Andy Jackson powers it cross court and it pops up. Lots of power on that ball, and Harper Murray again cleaning things up on the overdig.
A chance for a commanding lead, and Andy Jackson and Bergen Riley have got it. You know, slide, such good variety. It's behind the setter, and then it's all the way out to the pin. Very difficult to defend, the best in the country.
And Andy Jackson, when she runs to Bergen Riley, she gets on it so quick you can't defend it, and then she goes wide.
Jackson now 13 kills on 19 swings. No errors. Was 15 of 21 in the win over Minnesota on Saturday. One-on-one. Bergen Riley, good move against Lee. Free ball, the slide again. Dug by Schumacher, right on target. Lane's there again. (34-0) beat Wisconsin for the national championship. Olympic gold medalist April Ross leads the way for USC in 2003. And then the two undefeated teams for Russ Rose. Nebraska will stay in contention for that rarefied air. Jackson again.
The first contact for Nebraska has been so good. Bergen Riley's been able to just pick her poison. That time Andy Jackson on the slide.
Singletary again. UCLA's found a better level. They need to take this into the rest of the season.
Definitely.
Find themselves back in the tournament.
In the Duffy Singletary combo, getting both their middles are able to score points and help add to the kills.
The lead is 9, 22-13. Nebraska won the opening set 25-17, and then it got very, very tight indeed. The Bruins really responded. 25-23 Nebraska, then 25-19 UCLA to end the sets one streak. Jackson again throwing it down at 48. 2 points away for the #1 team in the country.
Andy Jackson in a hurry turns around, and Bergen Riley finds her. Make yourself available and good things happen for Nebraska.
Must have for UCLA. Schumacher stepping in. Well, sometimes strange things happen, but it's better when you have a 10-point lead. Now a 9-point advantage.
Andy Jackson, Harper Murray talk about it. So important to communicate on those little broken plays. Had some pace. Andy Jackson was making herself available for the D ball out of the back row instead of taking the first ball.
It's been a struggle, obviously, for UCLA on the right side. They're going to need to find a solution for that over those last 5 matches, and Alfie Reft and his staff will look at that. His lead assistant, Nick Vogel, is an outstanding player here for Al Skates, the UCLA man, and that missed by Lutz, and now it's match points. Once again, a record crowd of 10,498, and a lot of them Nebraska fans. And Nebraska will take on USC on Sunday already. Announced that the Galen Center at the USC campus is sold out for the first time ever. Riley, match point. Briscoe off the edge and down. Lola Schumacher defensively in reception, as Alfie Ref told us, number 30 in the libero jersey, the transfer from Wisconsin, the Bruins MVP. Match point number 2. Alec, a lot of slides, and Nebraska slip slides